Welcome back to another episode from our 2024 Rewind series where we're revisiting our top 5 movies from 2024 on Hallmark. Today, we're diving back into Blind Date Book Club. Whether you've seen the movie or not, we think you'll enjoy our deep dive into what made this one so special. Happy listening.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark Review podcast. I don't know what that was. I'm Megan.
A chipper voice.
I'm a longtime Hallmark movie fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm your former Hallmark hater.
It's genuine. I'm in a really good mood.
Yeah, we had a very nice, exciting phone call we just got off of.
We did. And today, speaking of exciting, we're discussing Blind Date Book Club, which originally aired on the Hallmark Channel on Saturday, April 6th. If you want to connect with us outside the podcast, follow us on Instagram. Lots of fun stuff coming there. We have 2 Instagram accounts. We are both Girls Gone Hallmark and Megan and Wendy.
I have to say, my responsibility on the Girls Gone Hallmark Instagram has not been great lately.
We're coming off spring break. We're hitting the ground running.
Yes, we are.
Good stuff to come.
Good stuff coming. Hey, if you want to talk more about good stuff, come jump into our Girls Gone Hallmark Facebook group. We're inching near 700 very engaged members right now. And if you want to talk about the movies, the actors, Hallmark news, some of our favorites are dropping some cryptic messages on their Instagram. And I know we're going to be talking about it in the Facebook group.
You know, the Facebook group did break my heart a little bit this week. So visit the Facebook group to find out why they hurt me deeply. But let's talk about those cryptic messages in our Hallmark News and Notes segment. It is Tuesday morning, April 9th. And on Tuesday morning, April 9th, our friends, Paul Campbell, Tyler Hines, and Andrew Walker dropped cryptic Instagram posts.
Yeah.
That consist of simply a single emoji. Paul Campbell's is the melty face emoji. Tyler's is like, it looks like an Atari guy.
Yeah.
It's giving me gamer vibes.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And Andrew Walker's is the old man emoji. And everyone's comments are like, finally, lots of people assume this is a teaser that we're getting 3 wise men and a baby too.
Well, I hope so. I'm trying to figure it out. The gamer thing definitely seems the gamer emoji that Tyler shared, but the melty emoji face from Paul, I can't remember. Paul's character was kind of a curmudgeon in that movie, right?
Yes.
So what does the melty face have to do with anything? Like
if you can decode these emojis, join our Facebook group and give us your thoughts on what is going on. Maybe by the time this episode drops, all will have been revealed.
Now, I asked you, did Kimberly Sested?
She did not. She did comment on at least one of them. She had like that loading emoji. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
like
I
the face, but it's not fully there. It's like dotted line all the way around it. So
that makes me happy.
Either way, I would love all 3 of them working together, even if they're just punking everybody. I'm okay with that too. All right, let's hear a synopsis for Blind Date Book Club.
A Nantucket bookshop owner known for matching others finds connection with a best-selling author who visits her store.
I want to go to Nantucket.
It was not Nantucket.
I know. I want to go to real Nantucket, not Canada Tucket.
I'm surprised that
Nantucket. Vantucket.
Nantucket. I'm surprised that Nantucket's not on your summer travel list.
It definitely is on. It's just hard to get to. It's someplace I would like to go. Nantucket.
Freaking Tucket. Let's talk news and notes.
Let's do it. Blind Date Book Club was directed by Peter Benson. I love Peter Benson. It makes me smile knowing that he directed that. Mm-hmm. He's a well-known actor. He's been seen in many Hallmark films. This is his 17th directing credit. He previously directed Hallmark faves like The Wedding Veil Expectations, The Santa Stakeout, and Sweet Carolina. His next project is as Pat in the upcoming sequel to The Cases of Mystery Lane. Speaking of Paul Campbell, I'm very excited to see that come back.
I'm looking forward to the sequel. I really liked that first movie. Really liked it. Blind Date Book Club was written by Nicole Baxter. Nicole has 19 writing credits. Most look to be Hallmark films. A couple previous favorites of ours are A Pinch of Portugal, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and Presents of Love.
Erin Krakow plays bookshop owner Meg. Erin is probably best known for her role as Elizabeth on When Calls the Heart. Can't tell me Hallmark doesn't know what it's doing by premiering an Erin Krakow movie the same weekend season 11 of When Calls the Heart premieres. The last movie we saw Erin in was The Wedding Cottage with Brendan Penny. And let me just say, justice for Erin, she hasn't been in a Countdown to Christmas movie in 6 years.
Yeah, because before that was It Was Always You movie she was in. I'm like, what? Is she just really busy with When Calls the Heart?
But Kevin McGarry's all up in Countdown to Christmas.
I know. I wonder why she opts out.
I don't suspect that she's opting out. And we'll get to it, but I find her absolutely delightful and need her in a Christmas movie.
Me too. Me freaking too. Robert Buckley plays author Graham Sterling. Robert has 29 acting credits, including 18 episodes of Chesapeake Shores, The Christmas House, and The Christmas House 2, Deck Those Halls. Outside of Hallmark, Robert has been a regular in series like iZombie, One Tree Hill, American Heiress, and the 2006 show called Fashion House, which also starred Bo Derek and Morgan Fairchild.
Is that a show you're familiar with?
I'm not, and he was in a lot of freaking episodes.
Interesting. Does Robert Buckley sound like the name of a much older man to you?
Sounds like somebody who plays guitar in a southern rock band.
Yeah.
I think that's Jeff Buckley.
Yes, I'm having a hard time reconciling his name with his face. Also delightful, Faith Wright plays friend and coworker Alice. She has just 20 acting credits and has been seen in shows like Riverdale, Nancy Drew, which I want to watch, and So Help Me Todd, actually a very cute show. For Hallmark, she's been in Three Wise Men and a Baby, as well as A God Wink Christmas, Miracle of Love.
Glennis Davies plays Aunt Renee. She's got a healthy list of acting credits, but her last Hallmark movie was from 2020 in a Picture Perfect Mysteries.
Hilary Jardine plays Graham's sister Lizzie. We saw Hilary over the weekend in One Bad Apple, a Hannah Swenson mystery.
Johanna Newmarch plays NRP, not NRP. My note says NRP. NPR reporter Raina Johanna also appears on When Calls the Heart as Molly.
This movie was filmed in January and February in Langley and Gibbons, British Columbia. According to Heavy.com, production was hit with a snowstorm during filming, and it did appear quite cold as we could see their breath in many, many scenes.
Many scenes. And I was like, they don't have gloves on. They're probably freezing out there.
Right? Like they have to dress like it's
Spring. Yeah. Did you notice when they're like, oh, it's snowing. It never sticks.
Yes, it doesn't stick this time of year. Like, what a weird April snowstorm. What is your first impression of Blind Date Book Club?
Well, I know a lot of listeners think It Was Always You, the Aaron Tyler Hines movie, is one of Hallmark's best. But I'd like to say, Tyler who?
Move over. It Was Always You. Nice. I agree with you. First impression over here, text flirting might be my new favorite thing.
Text flirting?
It was real cute.
It was super cute. The whole, like, send me that picture. Oh. The one where I look awkward. Oh, very cute. I liked how they handled
the one where fate pushed us together.
Yeah. I mean, he's a writer.
Yeah.
I do like how they handled the texting in this movie. I wish we could see it bigger on the screen because Grandma needs to put her glasses on.
Yeah. Zoom in, folks.
But thank you for reading it.
Yes. Indeed.
Or I could see what was written. Let's talk about what you liked.
Oh my gosh, top to bottom, the TLDL. Too long, didn't listen.
Too long, didn't listen.
You know, TLDR means too long, didn't read.
Yes.
The TLDL is I loved this movie.
Me too.
I thought it was great. First of all, I think I need to go back and watch some Erin Krakow films because I don't know. We don't watch When Calls the Heart. She hasn't been in Countdown to Christmas. The Wedding Cottage, she was ding dang adorable, and we loved that movie.
Yes.
We loved that movie.
Ding ding. We sure did.
Gotta know your audience. I'm not a When Calls the Heart person. I don't think I ever will be, but it's bringing me over.
No, we're not doing 11 seasons. Sorry.
No, I would never. I'm not interested. Honestly, of all of the fandoms in Hallmark, I think the Hardys might be the most rabid, and I am afraid of them. So I really enjoy her. She's easily, I don't have a list, but she's at the top. I just love her on Hallmark. Her outfits in this, very simple, very cute.
I'm glad you mentioned. I loved her laid back style. Super cute wardrobe.
Yeah, very casually professional, working in an island bookshop. Mm-hmm. Robert Buckley. Now you say he's been in all these. Chesapeake Shores, we didn't watch that. I did watch both Christmas House movies. He's a real wowie zowie.
100%. I need to see how old he is, to be honest, because there was a line they were talking about getting to know each other, and he's like, "Oh, I never got married," and I was like, "How old are you, sir? How old are you supposed to be in this movie, sir? Like 40?"
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like he's of an age where he has to say, like, "No, I've never been married."
Yeah,
Interesting.
but I wondered how old he was in real life. Mm-hmm. Any guesses?
35.
Let me look.
I don't know. I don't know how old anybody is.
42 years old.
Yeah, okay.
He's your age.
I'm 44, friend.
Oh, sorry. Go with 42.
I'm really curious, listeners. Do you lie about your age? Because I never have, but I used to work with someone whose wife lied about their age. It was real awkward.
Well, I think yesterday I told you that I was going to start lying about my age.
I wasn't going to out you. I saw your face when I started down that path. I wasn't going to out you. I can't ever remember how old I am. When I turned 44 this year, I was talking to my dad and he goes, "Oh, 44?" I was like, "I'm not 44. I'm 43. He goes, "Oh, you're not."
Oh, boy.
So anyway.
Do you think a man who is 42 has to explain why he hasn't been married?
A man? No.
I don't think so at all.
I don't think he has to explain why, but I do think you hit 42 and you're having a conversation about your life. I think it's reasonable to say, "No, I haven't been married."
Yeah, like I haven't found the one yet.
But I don't think anybody should have to explain why.
No, I don't think so either. For me, I really enjoyed this story. Most of all, what I really liked was that like Meg's whole personality wasn't, "I'm single," like none of that, right? And she wasn't losing her business. And sure, there was like a decision to be made about if she was going to keep the business or sell the business.
Yeah.
And I feel like those are like very normal, relatable life hiccups that come along. They're not like these catastrophes that Hallmark sometimes throws at us.
Yes.
Right? There was just no unnecessary conflict in this movie. And I enjoyed that very much. It just was like a nice, I don't want to call it simple, but it was just a nice movie.
I agree with you. Here's something else I loved. Early in the movie, Meg reads Graham's book and she doesn't love it. And he wants her to tell him why. And she says that she doesn't feel like the romance in the book is earned. She doesn't believe it. The character development wasn't there. And then they take this movie and they make me believe in their romance. There's nothing from the moment they meet, they're not instant. It's not love at first sight, but they're not enemies. And it builds so beautifully in such a cute way, from him asking her out to dinner and
Love that
surprising her with, he had set it up and walks her home. There's just so many moments that make the romance at the end earned, which isn't always the case.
Right.
So I liked the parallelism there.
Yeah.
Hey, I loved Sister Lizzie. I think her off-screen appearance builds his character as this warm, loving dude. And when she says to the daughter, she's like, "Girls, Uncle Graham's going to tell us about a girl." It's real cute.
And when he sends her, like, he knows, like, she's
Having a rough
busy.
time.
Yeah, he sends her breakfast.
God, I want a basket of muffins and coffee to appear on my doorstep.
While watching, I do have some siblings, but we don't have relationships like that because our age difference. But I was like, that is something envious. Having a sibling relationship where you're that close, where you talk to each other and you confide in each other. And I thought they portrayed it really well in this movie.
Yeah, I liked them.
Two more things. Aaron and Robert together as a couple. I thought, I don't want to be like, oh, they had great chemistry. I just thought they worked really well together. They had the banter, like everything was so easygoing, easy flowing with them. And I guess, yes, chemistry. Like I thought it was really nice. And I liked, we had like a mid-movie kiss. My husband came in and he's like, whoa, are you at the end of the movie? And I'm like, no, this is like mid-movie here.
Yeah.
I told him, I joked, Hallmark's making progressive moves. And he's like, oh, for a mid-movie kiss? I'm like, dude, you have no idea. And finally, I loved the writing because there was a ton of current day vernacular in this movie. I mean, he said goat, which
Yes.
I know he had to explain, but it just was, I enjoyed it. At one time, his agent, and I didn't get this because his name is Graham, but his agent's like, yo, G. And I was like,
But they all, like, even his sister called him G.
I know, but I thought the agent was calling him like G, like homie. Or,
homie,
yeah. But then I realized quickly it wasn't that way.
What'd you wish for?
I only have one wish.
Okay.
And I don't want anyone to think this is a knock on Erin Krakow.
Uh-oh.
And granted, I have not seen a ton of her movies and I don't watch When Calls the Heart, but I feel like she acts kind of like at a low vibration.
Yeah, I think that's why I like her.
Oh, so I feel like maybe we are accustomed to like rapid fire dialogue these days. We are from the school of Gilmore Girls. Like we are used to like that. And I was thinking about this and I thought, well, maybe she's just acting at a normal rate. But I'm so used to like just being like not yelled at, but you know.
Does it feel slow?
It felt slow. It lulled me to sleep on first watch. Yes. It felt slow, but I think it's normal.
Yeah, it didn't feel slow to me. I definitely could have fallen asleep watching this movie, but not because I was bored, but because I think these movies, low vibration is a good description. I think they exist at a low vibration, and as a result, I think that's intentional. Like they want them to be soothing comfort watches, cozy. I think there's something to that.
All right.
Here's what I wish for.
Yes.
I need bookstore bestie Alice to have her baby.
Oh, yeah, right. We need a sequel.
Well, and Lizzie too. So that's what I wrote. Are we getting a sequel?
I hope so. Because this Graham move to...
Two babies in a bookstore.
2 babies in a bookstore.
Sure. Why can't Graham? Graham can write from Nantucket.
Hell yeah.
And that's going to be how she saves her bookshop from the slow months, is by having author visits. And he's going to bring his author buddies in to do a Who Doesn't Want to Come to Nantucket?
Look, I love the idea of this wrapped book. I saw this years ago at Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, it's pretty common now.
It's so fun. It's such a fun way to get readers excited, I think. I love it. I just love it.
I do too, but I hate the name of I hate blind date with the book makes sense. And then you've got your blind date book club. That makes sense. But at the end, like the fact that there's also all these people that are meeting as a result of the book club aren't on blind dates. And Raina was trying to make that happen.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. It's fine that you're making connections, sell it that way. Like that couple met because of their shared connection over the book. And obviously Meg and Graham connect as a result of the book club. But those aren't blind dates. I just wanted to clarify that. It bothered me. But I like the idea of a blind date book club. Like not only do you have these books, but they're with a purpose. There are people who are going to come back. That's so smart. Bring them back in.
I know.
And then it gets them coming back for those blind date books.
Yes.
Such smart marketing. That's another thing that I didn't put in my notes, but everything made sense. A lot of times we see events and business practices in these movies. You're like, that doesn't make sense. This made sense.
The bank chili cook-off in a New Year's resolution.
Exactly. Finally, Just a little thought. I think Graham did not need to lie to Meg about who he was to get her to read his book, because she's all in on. He heard her interview. She doesn't care about the shelvability of a book. She wants to like a book on its own merits. I think he could have said, that's me, but I'm trying something new and I can't get anybody to buy in on it. Will you read this?
Yeah. Good.
I think she'd be all in on that. Now, she hated it, nevertheless, but
Would she tell an established,
that she hated his book.
well-liked author, yeah, I didn't like that?
Yeah, maybe not.
I would be intimidated to do
Well,
that.
and particularly given the benefit he can bring her bookstore as an established
Yeah.
author as opposed to an aspiring writer.
Right. Right.
Do you have a did you see that moment to share?
I do.
Okay.
Alice, who works in the bookstore,
Yeah.
her name is Alice Waters. Now, there is a real life Alice Waters who is an American restaurateur, chef, and activist. And I thought, that's an interesting choice. And was it made on purpose?
Or is it just a play on how much like they're on the water?
I don't know. But Alice Waters isn't like,
Is a real person?
she's not a nobody. Like, she's
Yeah.
a James Beard award winning
Oh.
chef. So I have a cookbook of hers actually.
Oh.
So I just thought it was interesting.
It is interesting. Here's my did you see that. It's a funny moment. Meg's aunt comes to visit and she says, can we find somewhere more private to talk? Mm-hmm. And the editing is really funny there because they cut to a B-roll shot of the harbor, but the focal point of that shot is a boat sitting all alone in the middle of the harbor. So she says, can we find somewhere more private to talk? The next scene is a boat sitting all by itself in the middle of the harbor. It's almost like you expected them to be on that tugboat.
Of course.
And they're private. They're not. They're walking along the water. I thought it was funny editing, and I don't know that it was intentional. It's almost just like, here's an establishing harbor shot, and they're going to be walking here. But in my mind, I was like, haha, they're going to be in the tugboat. That's all.
Would you rate this movie?
4.5 stars.
Me too.
So good.
I really enjoyed it.
It might be the best of 2024. I think I've said that already, but this is the best of 2020.
Well, there's been so few movies in 2024, so
It's great.
it was up there. It's up there.
It's going to be a fan favorite, I believe. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark. Speaking of fan favorites, we do have fan favorite movie reviews coming next week, in addition to brand new movie release reviews. Come back for that. Make sure you're following the podcast so you never miss an episode. You can talk more Hallmark in our Facebook group, of course, Girls Gone Hallmark. And if you love this podcast, and you haven't left a review, we'd love your 5-star ratings and reviews. They help us out so much. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.